MahaParamashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, with the divine grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, we're entering into the fourth day Darshan of the Paramashivoham program, the day when we celebrate Kalyana Sundara Murty. Our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the very living embodiment of Paramashiva and all of his manifestations, also the manifestation of Kalyana Sundara Murty. This Murty is Paramashiva who accepts Paramashiva Shakti as his disciple and, the story goes, as his consort as well. That is the way that Paramashiva gives the enlightenment. Does not have any personal interest, but is all about giving and contributing enlightenment to even Devi Paramashiva Shakti. In fact, she is celebrated as the first disciple. Today also we celebrate the deities of Maheshwar Murty and Umesha Murty. This deity is actually celebrated in one of the tantras known as the Kashmiri Saiva Tantra. This deity, this very tantra has the Dhyana Shloka of the deity of Maheshwara, whom we celebrate in all of our Kailasas, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayas as Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti. Yes, they are one deity, and that is the way we celebrate them. We celebrate that union, that oneness with Paramashiva of the Guru and the disciple. Hence we always chant, and Swamiji always chants the mantra Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam, celebrating the lineage of Guru disciples that dates back all the way to Nithyanandeshwara, Nithyanandeshwari. The Shiva Sutras are the pinnacle of Tantra science, where it teaches oneness. Yes, in the beginning of the Shiva Sutras, Paramashiva himself shares with Devi Paramashiva Shakti the truth that she should become feminine. She should radiate that feminine energy, the passive, listening space that is feminine in nature, that all of us should have when it comes to receiving Paramashiva, receiving the teachings and the blessings of the Guru in our lives. The state of that oneness comes from a very imbibing of the feminine qualities inside of us. Hence, Paramashiva begins the Shiva Sutras telling Devi herself, adapt and become feminine. And in that way, we also receive, and in a passive way, be in a space of listening to Paramashiva. And that is a way we can find to make friends and live an enlightened life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given hours and hours of discourse and has helped so many people understand the fundamentals in where they are missing in their relationships. Understanding where this focus of a person when wanting to relate with others should never be about themselves, should always be about contributing to the other person in their lives. Enriching, causing, and radiating Paramashiva is the purpose of having the relationships. And beautifully, the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving Kailasa, the enlightened civilization. Yes, it is a revival. It is not any reform or anything new. It is something that has been there since the founding fathers of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Meenakshi Sundareshwara themselves are celebrated on this day of Kalyana Sundara Murty. And they are worshipped also as the marriage between Paramashiva and Paramashiva Shakti. Yes, she came back again and again as Parvati, as first Sati, then Parvati, then Meenakshi, the complete incarnation, and finally attained oneness with Paramashiva and lived and created an enlightened civilization, just like how Swamiji is creating the same with Kailasa today. He's just reviving it, and with the same energy and the blessings of Meenakshi Sundareshwara is very successful in giving this breakthrough to all of us. So the source of this whole understanding of relationships comes from the beautiful way of understanding that we are always in oneness with everyone around us. Everyone around us is a mere extension of us. Everyone around us is our own extension and a part of ourselves. That is the truth that we live by. Whatever it is that we see is a fault in the other is something that we see and want to also correct within us. Whatever we see as something that is a possibility in another is also the possibility that we see within ourselves for ourselves. So everyone is a reflection of us, everyone is an extension of us, and they always stand as a reminder to tell us to look in for the solutions. And that is what real friendship is. The real friendship is helping the other and not pulling the other down. Helping the other realize his potential, no matter what it takes, whether it is in a kind way, whether it is in a ferocious way, whatever it may be. Putting the other first in your life is making sure that that person realizes and radiates their own Paramashivatva. And these are the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is teaching inside the Paramashivoham convention, all of the participants. Yes, the Paramashivoham is a beautiful ongoing program in this 21 days, and within this 4 months of Chaturmasya, we are seeing tremendous amount of possibility being showered on us by the compassion of Swamiji, because it is a $21,000 program. Yes, the Paramashivoham program is a $21,000 program. But for this limited time of the Chaturmasya, that is a sacred time that Hindus decide to spend to look into their selves, do the spiritual sadhana and the practice. This time is something that is a right of every Hindu. Yes, in fact, it was exploited at the times when invaders came to the Hindu countries, when the Hindu countries were practicing Chaturmasya. The kings, up till the sadhus and the priests, everyone will follow Chaturmasya, meaning that they will not pick up a weapon during this time. They will pick up the books. They remove the shastras and take up the shastras. They remove their weapons and hold on to the books. And in this way, do the study in this Chaturmasya period. But knowing this would be the case, the invaders invaded correctly at this time, where there is a vow taken not to pick up a weapon, and did a lot of the massacring and burning of the Hindu temples, destruction of the Hindu libraries and the Hindu temples. We have seen this as a result and a true part of our history that we need to embrace and understand is a reality to why we have only heard a little about these true facts, and also why we also heard a little bit about even the significance and understanding of all of the Hindu truths. Yes, when all this knowledge is just burnt off and wiped out, and even the people who keep it alive, their very DNA and genealogy is completely wiped out, it is an unfortunate way to really understand that we've missed so much because of the Hindu Holocaust. So much has been gone and lost, but we can look forward to a bright future as Hindus in this world because of the grace and blessings of Somasundareshwara and Meenakshi in the form of our beloved Swamiji, who is here to revive Sanatana Hindu Dharma as the 1008 incarnation of Paramashiva. Yes, and we get to see today the Kalyana Sundara Murty Darshan just in a few moments from now. Later on today we'll also be sharing with you some of the reasons why you should be attending the Paramashivoham program and attending to the live two-way video conferencing. Until then, we have a short important news to share with all of you. Some of the events since the last Purnima in Tiruvannamalai, Kailasa, the very birthplace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Every full moon day and night as well, there is the celebration of the Nithyananda Dhanam. And in this year, so beautifully, there are celebrations of various meals and continuous food being offered and shown. There are hundreds of thousands of people who come during the Purnima time at the pilgrimage. When they move aside their routines, move aside their lives, and dedicate their life to this day and night, I am for Paramashiva, I am with Paramashiva. And they celebrate that by doing the circumambulation of the Arunachala hill. It is a beautiful pilgrimage and a very healthy yogic practice in itself to go around 14 kilometers of the Arunachala hill. It takes just a few hours to finish, but it's a tremendous, beautiful way to celebrate that evening with Paramashiva and going around the hill. Those who do the little bit of sacrifice of their comforts, needs and greeds, whatever it may be, whatever small it may be, they come out of their life routine, they make it so that they are there for Paramashiva every full moon, and they go around in the hill. When they celebrate this, they always put aside their food and even their comforts. But it is the divine vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and of the Paramashiva, Arunachaleshwara himself, to give the Nityananda Dhanam to his devotees. And when they come to Kailasa and Tiruvannamalai, they have the opportunity to have the food, to eat the blessed food that is in abundant, ample and plenty variety, to give them that feeling that Paramashiva is here, Paramashiva is there to take care of them, they don't have to worry. And then when you have the opportunity to feed and give this food to the millions that come, it isn't just about quenching the hunger that they have in the day-to-day. It is because they yearn for Paramashiva in their life. They yearn for his blessings, his grace. It is because they keep him as the center of their life and walk around him. And that is the way they celebrate Arunachala, by circumambulating the hill, by keeping him as the center of their life and walking around him. When they see this very Annadhanam happening, or when we offer the Annadhanam to them, we are not giving the satisfaction to the hunger that they may be feeling physically, but we are also giving the satisfaction to the seeking that is there in their life. The seeking of Paramashiva, quenching that very hunger, is the very vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism when it comes to Annadhanam. When the Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the foremost Hindu scriptures, speaks about Annadhanam, it says Annam Bahukurvita, meaning let food be there in plenty. Taking this as a reality, there is no one quoting the scriptures and following through to what the scriptures say as much as Swamiji is doing. When it comes to Annadhanam, he is making food as plenty as possible. And why? Why is this plenty food important? Because when food is given in plenty, an abundance, the desperation for food and livelihood is immediately relieved from their lives. And this is what people experience. And thank you for joining us, for all of those who are also commenting. To the And thank you for joining us, for all of those who are also commenting to the show today. We have Janie Schilling also joining us, sharing some of her thoughts. The comments are how can we explain the benefits and how to carry forward the effects of today's darshan of Kalyana Sundara Murty. Thank you. Yes, thank you for coming. Actually, it's a beautiful time to have. Explaining the benefits is very beautiful. As we were sharing, we can talk about how Swamiji tells to keep the other person as Paramashiva in our lives, keeping the other person in our lives as not anything to be taking something from, but to give, because that person has come into your life as Paramashiva. This is the way that we work and function in Kailasa, and this is the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is even getting volunteering. Yes. And then we have another news for all of you. Recently, the Avani Chaturdasi is an important festival for Lord Nataraja. Nataraja is the Sakala form of Paramashiva, the form of Paramashiva, who is the most graceful and beautiful
I bless you all.
who manifests
Let you all
Tandava,
open all your
dance,
eyes
and Ananda Tandava.
and
And
manifest
he, according to the
powers
scriptures,
of Mahasadashiva.
happens in 6 times a year. The reason why is because the Devas themselves worship him. And he comes 6 times a day for them. Because 1 year for us, Bhagaloka, is one day for the Devas. So 6 times a day, Paramashiva comes as Nataraja and dances. So, I wanted to share with you Kailasa, Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalayas performed the grand Nataraja Abhishekam in the line of Kailasa Chidambaram. Yes, we celebrate this Chidambaram where Paramashiva came and dances as Nataraja. So on the 29th of August, Kailasa's Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayas are known for their dedication in preserving and promoting Hindu rituals. Following the Agama Shastras, the Kamikagamas, and also the various paddhatis aligned with them, we have observed the religious observances alignment with the times of Kailasa Chidambaram. Nataraja temple performed a grand Nataraja Abhishekam. The Nataraja Abhishekam was powerful, sacred, showering ceremony of Bhagavan Nataraja, is a profound offering of our devotion to him. And on the 29th of August, we celebrated with the special celebrations of the Avani Chaturdasi, the 14th day in the progression towards the full moon. That day is known as Chaturdasi. And on that auspicious day, we offered the Nataraja Abhishekam in Kailasas around the world. You can see the pictures of Los Angeles Kailasa, where Nataraja Swami is being worshipped, as well as there the darshan of the picture of Nataraja in a grand form in the Nataraja temple of Kailasa, Seattle, where Nataraja dances the Ananda Tandava continuously throughout the year. The deity is the magnificent, tallest Nataraja in North America. He is at 12 feet in height and a magnificent creation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. Yes, you can see this deity is so magnificent to be so stunning and instilling tremendous amounts of deep silence and deep powerful bliss in itself, as it is known as Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss. And just having the darshan of these deities were made by handcrafted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. He spent 4 days just to make the mold of this deity without sleeping and having only a little bit of food, but driven by the very darshan of Nataraja and the glimpse of his magnificence. Paramashiva, in the form of our beloved Swamiji, created the Nataraja deity. And this is some of the beautiful facts, and you can also see the other Kailasas also who also joined this beautiful festival, the darshan of the Kailasa's celebrations. We follow the Vedagamic traditions and collaboration with Kailasa's Chidambaram, aligning with when they do the Abhishekam and the procedures known from them. We really do the work of the revival. Every temple is an ecosystem in itself. It's a sampradaya in itself. So it is a wonderful space for us to a chance to be able to experience authentic Hinduism. All of the rituals and all of the Hindu rites that are done in Kailasa are but a revival of the original science from the original space. So whether you come from Chidambaram, whether you come from Madurai, whether you come from Tiruvannamalai, wherever it may be, we in Kailasa are bringing all the seed banking all of those traditions and giving the possibility of reviving them in all of the Kailasas around the world. So as you can see the pictures of Kailasas around the world celebrating Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja celebrations, and you can all stay tuned for the beautiful celebrations that will be coming. We will get to give you more information coming up on the celebrations of Krishna Janmashtami that is going to be coming up in a few days from now. 6th and 7th of September is Krishna Janmashtami, followed by the celebration of Ganesha Chaturdasi. Ganapati will be gracing us on his very day of his birth and at the very day of where he is just expressing powerfully in the cosmos, readily available for all of us. Ganapati has a special place in all of our hearts as he is the first God we worship and the one who removes and showers us with tremendous amounts of blessings. So that festivals will be coming up. We'll be keeping you all in the loop and stay tuned for more information on how you can get involved and how you can also participate in some of the rituals that we'll be offering in Kailasas around the world for both Krishna Janmashtami and also Ganesha Chaturthi. So joining us, thank you all for joining us, and hopefully everyone it's getting ready now to have the darshan of the Kalyana Sundara Murty. It is a beautiful day indeed to heal our relationships,